Okay, if you're dialing this in this later, we're setting up about 6 minutes early. You might want to fast forward to the meat of the Zoom session. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Have a nice spring break and all that?
Oh yeah, last week I did. I sure did. And then we're off tomorrow.
How are you?
Yeah, for the march in Raleigh.
You going to Raleigh?
I don't know. I'm off of work, but I'm not sure.
I did. I went to Raleigh and did one of those. Good morning. Early 80s, I guess. Got a speeding ticket on the way home. But other than that, it was a really neat experience, frankly. Just seeing people out and working for some. Evening, Susan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Are you going to Raleigh tomorrow?
We're wearing red, but no, I'm not going to Raleigh.
They closed school for you?
Nope. We were just encouraged to wear red to support public education.
Well,
Wear red for public education. Now, on May Day, it could be seen as a big communist communist rally. You better watch out.
I know.
We'll wait a few minutes and get started. What else is getting ready? You guys are going to continue working on CAP stuff right till the start of the next semester, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm having trouble getting people to fill out the survey again. I don't know why. I keep sending emails saying, "Hey, can you fill out this?" I've had 3 people fill it out.
How many people did you send it to?
Well, we only have 11 certified staff, so in the building all the time. So I sent it to all the
11.
All 11. I've gotten 3.
Because you already knew what it said.
So.
But the CAP 1 and 2 is due now, isn't it? Or no?
CAP 1 is supposed to go to Dr. Stedman this semester.
Okay, well, I'm almost finished.
The thing is that the SIAP is like 6 different tasks, and you only have 10 weeks to do it. So any break in between, don't take a break. Just keep working.
Okay.
Okay. You can break in August when you get your certificate and wrap it up. What is that noise?
Oh, but I got an email about registration. I think we already did that, didn't we, Susan, or no?
See, I thought like apply to graduate. Did you get the email that said graduation's like May 1st, and if you have not applied,
right?
Pay late. I thought I did it too. So I was like, are they just sending that to everyone?
Right, because I thought we did in a group text that we was talking about it, and I did it, and it was $75 if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, it was $75, and I paid that. So I'm hoping, but then it's like I want to go back through my email and make sure because.
Okay, so where do you go pay it? I didn't pay the $75. So where do I?
Well, I just charged my student account.
Okay, so that's what I did, I guess, when I hit the submit, and I did everything and put my name in and everything. So I sent her an email.
Were you on the graduation list on how your name would appear? Yeah. So I'm thinking that we're on the right track, but I don't know.
Okay, I was just asking because I saw that email. So
Yeah.
I emailed her back. So
okay, you'll have to let me know.
Okay, I will.
You're all getting certificates, right? You already have
Yes.
master's degrees.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
I only ever see the top of Vanessa's head. There she is. So any great excitements come out of, well, tomorrow's May Day and the big march on Raleigh.
Yeah, that's exciting. I don't have to work, so yay.
I'm not sure that's the idea, Rebecca.
I'm sorry. And it was our first day back Monday from spring break, so it gives us another day off. I thank him.
It's a sad state of affairs. And I was telling Rebecca earlier, I went on one of those protest days in Raleigh, sometime in the early 80s. And it's really exciting. It's really interesting, and you tend to get stuck in your own school system so much. It's if you got the chance to go, I would go.
I'm going.
Are you?
Yes.
You're going to chant, wave signs?
I'm going to support. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, but I know I'm going.
Good. Good to hear. Is your school closed for the day?
Yes, our school is closed, and a few, myself and another first grade teacher, we're going together, and I know some third grade teachers are going also.
Great. Well, I hope it's a huge, huge pile. I hope I get something done.
Well, I keep hearing a lot of people saying it's just a free day off, so.
We'll have to make people like Rebecca quiet for them.
But I know some bus drivers from my school are going, and
wow.
custodians said they were going to go, and cafeteria workers.
Actually, if I really thought about it, I should have gone and visited my daughter while I was up there. Okay, we're past time. Let's get started. We have Zoom14. This is it tonight. Finished, done. Our topic of the night is the future of education, future of public education. That I think I can tease out of this case study that we did. So who would like to go first to present the case study? Any volunteers? I know that Lainey and I can't remember her partner's name. Anyway, they're going last because they're on the way back home from a track meet. So who wants to go first with this?
I can go once I pull it up.
Okay. Okay, that's right. And I almost lost our meeting last time that we did case studies, because at the end, y'all have to remind me, you have to share it back to me, whatever goes last. If you don't share it back to me, it just runs forever, and then it won't copy because it's too long for you to. They have a 30-minute limit. I have to stop share. Is that right? If I stop my share, Vanessa, you're going on to.
Yes, I'm trying to download it again because I'm asking my daughter what she did with my bag with my flash drive, but she's ignoring me.
Children are like that. Well, Vanessa looks for it. I'll do my soupy part tonight. Tonight's our last meeting as a group, and I have to say, I've done this 8 years in a row now, and you are my favorite class ever.
Oh, yay.
Well, you're interesting and alive and quick studies. So anyway, it's been fun. And it's my last one too, because I'm changing roles as an adjunct professor. I had a operation around Thanksgiving that was very successful and found a non-malignant tumor that I was happy to be rid of and doing all right. But it made me think how I wanted to spend my time. And one of the things about this program is it's time consuming for someone who's instructing. So I'm going to be a future evaluator. So when you get them back and they're not 3.0s, you'll know who to be mad at. But I can do that from remote stations. My wife and I like to travel, and who knows where I'll be doing them from. We got a trip planned with my son and new daughter-in-law to the Bahamas, and then we're going to got a place to stay in Spain and a place to stay in Portugal in October, and then my wife's in England, so we'll probably go visit her family. So got a busy year ahead, and I need to be free to be able to do those things. But thank you for being a great group to finish up with. Joy and my pleasure. Vanessa, you got it yet?
Can you guys see it yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I stopped share, so.
I hit share. Okay.
Make sure that window that you're sharing is in the front.
Oh,
Okay.
here we
Can
go.
you see it now?
Coming.
Remember, I have to get back to the end. You're on.
Okay. So this our group is myself, Rebecca, and Jay.
Okay.
So I started out, what is inclusion? Inclusion is the movement that was designed to bring back special education services into the general classroom that came from our book. And the first question was, how might the principal approach this in future meetings with their teachers? Is it necessary to choose one approach over the other? We all agree that the principal could have handled the situation better if she had established guidelines from the beginning, should have communicated her expectations and how she wanted the inclusion to look. Jay noted that there was no mention of a special education teacher, and there should have been one to assist Sylvia. And the lawful approach is the best approach.
Okay, one point here. Where is this happening? Where is this story from?
It is in a Spanish-speaking country, I remember.
Chile.
Yeah.
Said in Chile, so who knows what the Chilean law for special education is. So if it was United States, then there should be a special ed teacher there, but who knows what how Chile sets it up. Go ahead.
Number 2 is, what is the path that Eugenia should take? We said Eugenia needed to be, hold on, I can't see for us being over here. She knew what needed to be done for inclusion because she had witnessed it herself, but she did not express this to parents. She needed to give some guidelines or suggestions that she wants followed for some sort of professional development if she wants something different to take place in the classroom. And she also needed to include a role for the special needs teacher in the classroom during inclusion, is what we all discussed.
Okay.
Question 3 is what is one point of view more correct than the other and why? We generally thought that both points of view were valid, but under the law, and we were speaking from our laws, all the students' needs must be met, not just appeasing the parents. And most importantly, we thought that the law took precedence over the feelings and emotions. And Jay stated that the point of view of the law was the one that mattered most. And then in here I included about in Pennsylvania Association for Retarded Citizens versus Commonwealth of Pennsylvania 1971, amended in 1972. A Pennsylvania court ruled that all children, regardless of disability, have a basic right to an education under the 14th Amendment. And again, we're talking about from the United States. I completely forgot about the Chile part, even though I read it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it has any great meaning, but I thought it interesting that the case study was set in Chile instead of the United States. Maybe we'll figure that out later.
The next one was, what kind of collaboration from the children's family might the principal and the teachers propose in order to improve the inclusive education program, encourage an appreciation for diversity, and stimulate learning for all the students at the school? And the school could have a collaborative training to help the parents and teachers to better understand the inclusion program. We also said a parent night or inclusion night for all families, and that way there wouldn't be this stigma. And a special needs teacher collaboration. Next one was, as an expert in the area of learning and evaluation, what might Ismail the technical coordinator do to integrate and create some harmony out of the differences in opinion among the teachers? So we stated sensitivity training for all parents and teachers, create an online portal, training for parents that couldn't come to the school, create a newsletter to provide information to the teachers or some sort of training to address all sides. And what actions might Sylvia take with the families of the children in question in order to learn and share the achievements and experiences they have observed among the children? And I was thinking that she might face more scrutiny if she got the parents involved. But if she had to, she might encourage those parents to share achievements of their children with Eugenia and other parents. They might be more understanding if they knew how beneficial her approach was for students, and include special awards to highlight those students' achievement for the students and parents to witness. That was one thing that Rebecca brought up. And highlight all students' success on social media so they can feel included. And we all thought that making the inclusion students feel successful was important. And then there's the reference page.
Okay. You know what's wrong with your reference page, by the way, right?
What's wrong with it?
Little APA off the track question.
The second line's not indented?
That's it.
Okay.
And actually, they should be double spaced too. But we'll let her off.
Thank you.
Thanks for presenting for your group. Who would like to go second?
We can go second.
Okay, go ahead. Oh,
All
let's see.
right.
That's you. Got to stop share.
Let me go back and see. Okay, I see it.
Okay, let me find mine. Uh-oh.
Can you find it, Melissa? I can pull it up if you can. There you go.
It is.
There we go. Can you see the whole thing? There we go.
It's small. There we go.
That's better.
Okay. All right. So let's see. We'll start off with the first slide here. Let me move my little window so I can see what's on here. So the first question is, how might the principal approach this in future meetings with their teachers? Is it necessary to choose one approach over the other? So we said that the principal might give teachers a review of the specialist role so that it's clear to teachers, and specialists in this case most likely being the special education teacher if there is one. Special services plan procedures, and a reminder that providing an appropriate education in the least restrictive environment is important for inclusion. And this could happen at PLCs or a staff meeting, so the principal would include all of the teachers in this. The principal could involve specialists in this review so that they have expert opinions should a question come up that the principal may not know the answer to. The principal might also come up with a leadership team, such as a school improvement team, to discuss ways to differentiate for all students in classrooms. So it would make it clear for all teachers about how better to put into place different instructional strategies that could serve everyone. The team might determine what things could be put into place to address parent concerns, student interest, and best practice, so they could come up with a plan. They could also determine that professional development may be needed. Regarding the principal's approach, it may be necessary to consider the school's climate and culture. The principal will need to choose an approach that can support teachers, be considerate of stakeholders, and one that puts student needs before everything else.
Okay.
All right, so what is the path that Eugenia should take? She should first hold a meeting, so collaboration here is the key. She should be present in the classroom and conduct walkthroughs so that the information that she's getting from other teachers about what's going on in the classroom isn't just hearsay, that she has that specific experience of seeing what goes on. Include specialists in PLCs, review special education service guidelines, with staff and stakeholders, consult with a mentor for advice and seek guidance, follow up with teachers, specialists, and parents regularly, so keep those lines of communication open, refer to the Council for Exceptional Children's Reference Guide, and then meet with the school improvement team to determine actions that can be put into place to assure differentiation is taking place correctly. Then we have included a diagram of general education. Let's see. This principal and the teachers, even the stakeholders, should be familiar with what IEPs are. Teachers should be familiar with IEPs and attend training if they have IEPs in Chile. Provide parents with appropriate IEP information, and then know the local requirements. Time should be provided and schedules for teachers so that they can collaborate and share their instructional strategies. So again, collaboration is coming back into the conversation. And to know district procedures for handling conflicts when working with students with disabilities and their parents, communicate honestly and empathetically with parents. And I think the principal was trying to do that by hearing their concerns and then actually taking action. So then question 3, is one point of view more correct than the other? So we have Sylvia, and she, even though she gets kind of upset in her meeting, she still provides very solid points that are based on effective practices. She's talking about how students are learning from teaching others. They're building a collaborative structure within their classroom. And then Sergio also provides a solid point that specialists are there for a reason and that they need to support the special needs students. And he also emphasizes his achievement scores, which are, whether we like it or not, important. We have to make sure we think about them. And so they both make very strong points, but the general education teachers are still responsible for providing that free, appropriate public education. Sylvia and Sergio seem to be at 2 different points of the spectrum, but they both seem to care about the kids, which is important. So I think they can find that as a common ground. And the teacher should utilize and rely on specialists to support students with disabilities, but they should not leave all the instruction to them. All right. Oops. I stuck on. Okay, here we go. Slide 6. Annette, do you want to take over?
Sure.
Okay.
So what kind of collaboration from the children's families might the principal and the teachers propose? So we said that the principals and teachers could just kind of have an open forum and conversation to just everyone kind of, discuss their concerns in an open way, because it sounds like there's already a good level of collaboration, but also informing the parents of some of the role of some of the specialists that are there at the school, the role of the general education teachers. It could even be that maybe the parents don't even have a relationship with the specialist teachers. So that could be something that could be started as well. Parents could even have ideas on how maybe they could contribute or how the community could contribute just by volunteering at the school more often. The school could also consider more project-based learning that could maybe challenge some of the more advanced students. It could still work for students with disabilities as well, but that could be something that the school could look at. And then just starting to come to more of a consensus on expectations for everyone involved. Let's see. Do you want me to keep going?
Sure.
Okay. So number 5, as an expert in the area of learning and evaluation, what might Ismail, the technical coordinator, do to integrate and create some harmony? So he could begin by surveying or interviewing the teachers in the school just to kind of figure out what are all the different opinions that people have about inclusion and all the support personnel helping the students with disabilities. once he gets this information, he could meet with all of those teachers, all the staff members involved, and kind of go over that data. What did they find out from the parents? What did they find out from the staff? And they can then come up with a plan that kind of fits everyone's style, everyone's opinions about inclusion, but still meeting the needs of everyone. And then the decisions made in this meeting could be shared with the teachers, and all the teachers can be allowed to offer even more feedback. This will empower some teachers who are really highly opinionated, just like Sylvia and Sergio are. And those teachers maybe who didn't have opinion before, maybe aren't as knowledgeable, they can maybe start to buy into some of the school's new processes that they might implement. And then the last one. What actions might Sylvia take with the families of the children in question in order to learn and share the achievements and experiences they have observed? So Sylvia could share the ideas discussed in the meeting that we just shared, and inform parents of the teacher administrative intentions, so that, again, everyone kind of comes to consensus, everyone has the same expectations, and that we're making sure we're meeting the needs of all the kids. Sylvia could even collect information from the students themselves to get a better idea of what they're thinking, what do they want, and share that feedback with those parents too. And by showing that the faculty and staff have taken an interest in collecting and looking at the data from all the stakeholders, then that kind of makes more of a transparency and that open communication, again, and collaboration, like Melissa said earlier, that will just help everyone come to a final agreement. I think was that our last slide?
That is.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see how to stop sharing this.
Stop share. And then Nikita, who I apologize for forgetting your name earlier. Do we have anybody else who hasn't presented yet? I don't see Lainey yet.
Oh yeah, no, she's still, she just texted me, she's still at the track meet, but I can present for us.
Okay.
I'm trying to get out of this. I'm trying to get out of this full screen, but it's stuck. Oh wait, stop share. Got it. All right.
Okay. Then Nikita, if you can share your further screen.
Okay.
Tell us about these folks in this situation. What's up?
All right. Let's see. I just joined on. Did you guys hear about what happened at UNC Charlotte?
No. What?
Yes.
Yeah. There was an active shooter. Like 2 have already died. Yeah, pretty sad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Question number 1. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Seems like my internet's going in and out. Okay. How might the principal approach this in future meetings with her teachers? We said by having community building approach that reaches all students with lesson plans that have sections that they'll notate where differentiating activities will be taking place. Is it necessary to choose one approach over the other? We said no, both approaches have their merits, so it's unnecessary to require teachers to choose one approach. Question 2, what is the path that Eugenia should take? Eugenia should take the path that is in the best interest of her students to meet their needs as well as other students in the class. She should also utilize the specialists for support of her students. Also meet and collaborate with teachers and specialists to develop a plan to ensure all students are receiving a sound education. Follow up with parents at the next PTA meeting, and then meet with individual parents as necessary. Is one point of view more correct than the other? Why? No, we believe that we do not believe that one point of view is more correct. We believe both points ultimately have students' best interests in mind. Both point of views have their merits to encourage student success. What kind of collaboration from the children's families might the principal and teachers propose in order to improve the inclusive education program? Provide parents with surveys about their student learning styles. Also, a lot of time parents don't even know or are in, they don't even know if their kids are in inclusion classes or are receiving services, to make sure that parents have clear knowledge of their student schedules and what's going on. Adopt a mentor or mentee program, student helper program to encourage collaboration between all students. Classes will be chosen on academic need, learning styles, and socioeconomic needs. Next question. As an expert in the area of learning evaluation, what might Ishmael, the technical coordinator, do to integrate and create some harmony out of the differences in opinion among the teachers? Provide professional development for teachers on most current research and teaching practices. Create a peer observation schedule for teachers to view other teachers' teaching. Provide opportunities for teachers to meet with parents to provide information of class happenings. And last question, what might Sylvia take with the families? What actions might Sylvia take with the families of the children in question in order to learn and share the achievement of experiences they have observed among the children? And we said that provide classroom presentations to parent groups of experiences and achievements, share projects completed by students with parent and student permission, provide journals from students documenting events in the classroom, and weekly newsletters from class to share with parents about the events and activities that are going on in the classroom.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Okay. If you'll stop sharing now.
So I got to hit stop sharing.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, stop share.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Before we start on any other discussion, I want to make sure we all know one thing. We, a couple of weeks ago, talked about law, kids, all these meetings that are being proposed at school. What do they have to be aware of?
FERPA.
FERPA, absolutely. We can't get in there and start talking about Melissa, even if it's good stuff. We can't go in there and start telling stories that are private knowledge. Everybody is clear on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Because the idea is great, but the execution could be definitely. When you talk about the point of view, we have the point of view of the educators involved. We have the point of view of the parents who came to complain. We have the point of view of the parents of the children who were served by the special ed program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody right?
I think they're all right in the fact that they're wanting the best for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
For their child.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm the father of the inclusion child, I'm not too worried about the smart kid who's going to be fine no matter what. And you know, and I've certainly been in enough classroom situations to know that if I'm the father of the smart kid, it's really annoying when someone's always acting up and can't keep up, and the teacher's spending all their time working with that child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somehow you have to pull these people together or lose them. That's the other option. Talk about that in a minute. So where do we get, we talked about this when we talked about interviewing, where do we get our fundamental beliefs about school?
From our school experience.
Yes. Every single one of us. no matter what degree we have, no matter how long we went to college, no matter what kind of dissertation we did, in reality, we're thinking about to when we were kids at school. And what happened, well, when I was a kid, to special ed kids, they mostly dropped out as soon as they were 16 because they were, light years behind. You guys are a little younger and probably have had different experiences, but that was the old way of doing things. Someone took you down to the Army Recruiting Center and said, "Oh, this would be a good idea for you. You're never going to graduate from high school." Boom, there you go. Okay. So when we look at these things and when we talk about these things, we're talking to parents who have an experience at school that they're weighing in on their beliefs, their memories, their own children, and the way they want to protect them and make life good for them. The teachers all have their own point of view, probably at least partially based on years of service. More experienced teachers tend to be a little less excited about inclusion, shall I say? Just as a general rule, not a hard and fast one. And realize that no matter how much information we share, no matter how much we know about how much better gifted kids do if they help someone understand concepts in the room rather than just march ahead memorizing stuff. If you didn't experience that, you're less likely to participate in it, to believe in it, to work together with it. So these plans, they're all good plans, but they're going to take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, what do we say? You always fall back on how you make decisions. Follow
the policy.
Follow the policy, the prescription, and the law. It's hard to go wrong then. Now you probably get smoked by the parents of the smart kids, but and you'll end up paying for that politically. But it is the right approach. Okay, FERPA. What does all this have to do with the future of public education? Read my mind. How does this provide a springboard as we're talking about the future of public education? Just let's brainstorm. What problems do you guys see in the future of public ed?
Are you talking about in terms of instruction or
everything? The whole gamut, the whole big ball of wax?
I think everything's going to start to become much more individualized and equity based. So there's going to maybe be more legal requirements for meeting the advanced kids, just as there are for kids with IEPs, maybe.
Well, I know right now at my school, my principal was talking to me about they're now looking at the growth in the scores of the EC population.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to create all these plans and make sure that they're meeting the growth. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, do you know how long it takes for your average second language learner to be academically capable in their second language? You know the research on that?
I think it's 7.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
And how long are they in your school before they're counted in your results section? You know?
1.
Mm-hmm.
1. So you're fighting an uphill battle. Everyone wants the truth and the numbers, but they don't want to actually look at the research that says that's how it's done. So your poor little guy who's just gotten here from Central America, been here a year, speaks a little English, doesn't read, write real well. He's kind of just like everybody else in the school.
Yeah, I had a student when I taught English who came to our school as a sophomore from Vietnam. She spoke absolutely no English whatsoever. And they put her in my English 1 class, and I had a year with her, and then they put her back in my English 1 class a second time because the first time, I guess, was just practice. But
you did so well the first time.
Yeah. Well, they put her in there the first time because she didn't have to be tested the first time. Then the second year, they put her back in there with me because we had a little bit of a relationship, and she had grown a lot, but it was still a struggle. And I did spend a lot more time with her than I did with all of the other kids.
Yeah,
but I didn't know what else to do.
yeah, because honestly, not many people do. And then when you're successful with one or two, and then you can't figure out what happened with number three, well, because they're humans, they're different.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more complicated than rocket science, because every time you shoot a rocket, the same laws of physics take place. The humans each of us are separate and individual and very different, no matter what the averages say. So what does all this have to do with the future of public ed?
I think education and the things that we do in school used to be a lot more isolated.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that now with social media, the way people are communicating, it's all out in the open. Behaviors in school are out in the open. So we have to be considerate of the fact that public school is very public. Everybody knows what's going on in just a second. I don't know. It's interesting that we can use that as a springboard to make it more of a community, and hopefully in making schools more of a community, some of those people who are like, well, my kid's a smart kid, I don't care what the kids who are slow are doing, maybe that would lessen at least just a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. What have we not had in public education that well, you'll never figure that out. You'll know the answer when I tell you, but customer service.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to change in the future of public ed. What is customer service in education?
Well, you have to make sure everybody's happy, the people that you're serving, your students, your parents, all the stakeholders. It's balancing their perception and their positive perception of what's going on there at the school.
Okay. Perceptions are indeed important. What else is part of customer satisfaction? Who do you have to satisfy at school? Who are your customers? Who will your customers be when you're the principal?
Students and the teachers.
Students and the teachers.
And the parents.
Two of them, and the parents. Students, teachers, and parents. And if the overall trend is that your test scores are good and everybody behaves, will everyone be satisfied?
No.
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because they're people.
So what do they want?
They want things to be
Their way.
individualized their way, even if it's not the best way.
Because the best way is the way my child needs it done, right?
Right.
Right.
Right. And most of you are mothers, right?
Yep.
So, and that's a very powerful truth. You tell me whatever you want to right now, but when the chips are down, you're in there for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good and that's right. So the battle will be to get the special ed and the EFL and all the diverse groups that we're trying to educate people on, lined up with the folks who already have a vested interest in American Ed's public education. And see if we can keep them around, because what are they going to have? Going to have
choice, school choice.
Yep. So everybody's got charter schools in their district.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Everybody got magnet schools in your districts.
I don't think we
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So it's probably a big district then. Okay. So those are some of the ways we've tried to build customer satisfaction is to actually supply different programs through magnet schools, or people to go to charter schools where it's likely, maybe I'm just a cynic, but it's likely that charter schools have figured ways to keep the disabled from really accessing their school, because it causes problems, makes for work.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all still committed to public ed, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all kinds of new stuff, I hope.
Yep.
Okay. I hope you've joined a professional organization, and I hope that you have got a savings plan for retirement. Those are my two individual questions for you as being a member of my 603 class. I hope that you remember that always fall back on the law and procedure first. Make sure you're following those, because nothing else matters if you don't. But within that context, know your philosophy, know what's important to you, know what you have to do. Promise?
Promise.
Okay. In that case, I'll grant you graduation from 603. Remember, we're trying to get everything Cap 1. If you've got Cap 1 finished, I strongly recommend you start in Cap 2, Cap 3, Cap 4, because it's going to be one heck of a summer. So I would also suggest not taking a vacation in between the end of this semester and the start of next semester, and instead wait till August, because if you can just write right through, you'll be happier. You have to take it with you wherever you go. But SIAP is 6 evidences long. Now, a lot of it you've done is cut and paste, and don't think that you have to rewrite something you've already done, but you will have to cut and paste, and you'll have to write segues, and it does take time. And you do have to finish up your internship log and your dispositions and your competency folio and your competency analysis, all before the end of April, or the middle of April, actually. August, middle of August. So promise me that you'll work hard, be good, and be great students. And I promise you, if I see your papers, I won't look your names and I'll just unabashedly equal as I possibly can. You guys take care of yourselves, all right?
All right.
All right. You too.
Well, good night.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.